Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello world, I hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners out there and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. I want to thank everyone who has been listening and sharing. Please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please check out the website homegrownwithgcole.com to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast is now available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all your podcast platforms. We're also very interactive. Please follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook at MyGCole. This is episode 25.
Keep it real, the king, and then it's sealed. It's an Irish situation. Hatred is rejected, and wisdom is respected. As you move towards your goal, preservation of your soul, it should never be neglected. Rock and come in, rock and come in, nice up the scene, ice gold and green. Up a skyline, make the youth them have some nice time. While you're checking out the view, take a look inside of you. Do you like the things that you find? Play this on the cell block. Tell the killers them for tech stock, no. Beg you put it on repeat. Every lane and every street, every corner, every bus stop. Rock and come in, rock and come in, nice up the scene, ice gold and green. Rock and come in, yo, rock and come in, nice up the scene.
Yes, and that one is Mortimer with a song called Nice Up the Scene on the Mile High Rhythm. Today we're talking about branding. We're talking about establishing your brand and launching your business. In 2018, one of the fastest growing business routes is entrepreneurship, and people have tons of ideas. They're more inclined right now than ever to grow and market those ideas. One of the most important things about businesses or getting into business, though, is your branding. I'm a firm believer in branding. Little known fact for many people out there is that a lot of companies allocate more money to marketing and branding than they do to product development. Today, we're going to be talking with a branding expert, strategist, and CEO of the company launched in 2 days, Mr. Alex Miranda. Alex, welcome.
What's up, brother? It's so good to be with you again, man.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. What you been up to?
Well, do I start like ever since our days at Carnival Cruise Lines? Like ever since.
It'd be a while. It would definitely be a while.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while ever since. You know, look, you and I go back 2003, 2004 when we were working Carnival together. But look, I always knew I had the entrepreneurial bug in me. I just had to get that corporate stuff out of the way. Mm-hmm. I launched my own agency, my own marketing, agency, helping people do their logos and their websites and things like that. And so that was 2005 that I launched that. We're in 2018. Wow. So we're 13 years into this, man. And,
wow.
It does make me an expert and an authority, not because I'm saying it, but because, dude, when you do something for that long, you are that. That's
True.
That's who you are.
True. True.
Yeah, that's it. That's my story right now.
Well, and let me ask you this. Am I wrong in saying, though, that one of the most important aspects of your business is your brand?
It's funny that you said it in a certain order that most people don't say it in or do it in. You said, establish your brand and launch your business.
Right.
Here's the problem that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
People want to launch their business, and then they want to establish the brand.
Wow.
And then they want to think about that stuff later, or they're totally oblivious to what branding even is. Mm-hmm. And again, why do we want to just straight up jump the gun and launch a business? I get it. There's, we want to make some money right away. Okay. And look, I'm all about, in business, shoot first, ask later. I'm all about version 1.0 is better than version 9.0.
Yep.
So I'm all about the hustle. Let's get this thing up and running. Look, I have a company called Launch in 2 Days, so I'm the first guy to say, let's launch. Mm-hmm. But, here's the big but. The reason I can confidently put out a brand and promise that I can launch in 2 days is because when you call, I tell you, listen, before we launch anything at all, you and I need to have a brand strategy session.
Right.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So as much as I want your listeners to launch businesses, as much as I want my family and my friends to go after that statistic that a lot of people are launching businesses, I want to, the Bible says, who builds a building without first drawing up the plans?
Right.
You gotta first put together a brand strategy. I'm not talking about a business plan. Yeah. We can have a business plan, but even a business plan is totally overrated at the beginning. All you gotta do is just sort of put something on one piece of paper about what you want to do. I'm talking about a brand strategy, like why are people gonna buy from you?
Right.
Why? I don't care about what you want to do. You want to be a realtor? That's cool. Get in line. You and 100 other of my friends are realtors.
Right.
I want to know, why were you called to be a realtor? Because if we can establish why you are different than the next guy, you've got a chance at being unique, at being memorable, and at being shareable, which are the three key elements to succeeding in business.
Right.
And succeeding in your brand.
Now, when somebody comes up and says, hey, because I have conversations all the time. And of course, from the avenue of business, of music to anything else, to retail, fashion, whatever the case may be. And, everybody wants to start a business. That's what everybody's goal is right now in this day and age. Now, when people approach you, what are some of the most important things to factor when you're trying to establish not the business, but the brand?
That is an easy question for me to answer. It's going to be a difficult question, a difficult task for the entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. I'll explain this. The brand is the external manifestation of the internal desire of the entrepreneur's angst, anxiety of how things are running in this world right now and how he feels it should actually be different, how he or she feels the market really should be.
Right.
See, a brand is three things. A brand is, what are you against in this world? Mm-hmm. See, for me, I'm against people launching businesses that they have no business starting.
Right.
I am completely against people launching businesses without knowing what their creator created them exactly for. I am against entrepreneurs being on the wrong seat of the bus because they waste my time and they waste their time. They waste the marketplace's time. They waste their customers' time. They waste the resources of this planet's time.
Right, right.
Because they shouldn't have been doing that in the first place.
Right.
And I'm against that. So like, so I don't. So you see that in my brand. So I do everything in my power to think, how can I help people be on the right seat of the bus? How do I develop systems and formulas, and how do I crack the code? Like, how can I get a direct line to God and say, God, why did you create this person, and what were they supposed to do? Can you just tell me, and then I'll go ahead and do this?
Right.
Right, but there's this gray area, right? There's this miscommunication. There's this sort of what the world and what the culture wants you to do, right? But then there's what we were born to do, and some people are running from what they were born to do, and some people are kind of right there, and some people are completely oblivious to the fact that it's actually there. See, I'm against something, and that makes me a purveyor of everything to do with wanting to help someone discover what they were born to do.
Right.
That then fuels my products and services. Then it fuels my research and development. Right. Mm-hmm. The second component here, Gregory, is what do you love to do? And by the way, you cut me off when you need to go to a song. Because we can leave people in a cliffhanger if you want. But you just say, oh, that's the point. Just right there, Alex. I'm going to cut to a commercial break. So anyway, the second thing that people need to understand. So the first one is, what are you against in this world, man? What just really pisses you off? Mm-hmm. Now pair that up with, what do you love to do? Right. And look, I've been doing logos and websites for 13 years. So I've got a pretty big portfolio, and I can tell you which ones I really love to do and which people I will never work with again. Right? I can do that, right? Most of us can. We can sort of lay it all on the table and say, oh, this one was awesome. All right, yeah, this sucked right here. That situation was terrible. Ooh, this situation here. Man, if they could only be like this.
Right.
Right? And so for me, what it came down to was I really, really hated, man, when people would take me along for a ride for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Heck, I even had someone take me a year to do their logo, website, and their brand and all that. A year. At the end, we just wanted to kill each other, man. People wanting their money back. People wanting to sue each other. Right? And I know I'm tugging at some heartstrings here. I know there's some listeners that have been through this process, and you've wanted to strangle your cousin because he hasn't done the logo yet, right? He hasn't finished the website yet. Trust me, I know, because that's what happens in my industry a lot. The deal is this, right? Is that there was a couple, though. There was actually a whole lot of them that were really good. And they were people that needed their branding like next week.
Right.
They were going to a trade show. They had a big meeting. There was some sense of urgency, and they needed it. And so we stopped everything we're doing. They stopped everything they were doing, and there was this 100% complete focus on getting the job done. And a brand that took a year for another person, in this case, took 3 days, 5 days.
Right.
Why? What was the difference? Time, urgency. There was a short period of time allowed in order to bring this thing to life. Let me ask you, when you go through labor and delivery, I'm not pretending you do, but someone, right? You don't stay in labor and delivery for 5 days. No. In fact, it becomes toxic after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Then they have to induce labor. You don't want your branding process to take forever. It's toxic to the entire situation.
Right.
Now, I saw the ones that I hated took too long. The ones that I loved took very, very short. They were different industries. There was no correlation in the industry. It was the only thing that I was able to really draw was I hated these because they took a long time, and I loved these because they were very short. So then I said, how do I change my entire business model such that everyone is first to launch their business in a very short period of time? And when I discovered what I really, really loved, man, I changed everything. I changed the name of my company. I changed the messaging. I changed the logo. Everything changed into launch in 2 days. And to me, it doesn't matter if you need it in 2 days or not. See, I'm not pretending that you have a trade show that you need it for. No. What I'm pretending and what I'm knowing is that every day that the world doesn't know what you were born to do, every day that the service that you have to offer isn't out there in the world, is another day that you're doing a disservice to this planet.
Wow.
So launch in 2 days is a mission for the person to stop the resistance, man. Stop the fear.
Right.
Stop the things that are holding you back. Get up and get out and launch the business. And in fact, we were so passionate about this thing that we did it in a weekend style format so that no one could give an excuse. The 9-to-5er that's listening right now, you got your job, and you're listening to me. You're like, man, this guy's he's preaching to me. Listen. There is a way that you can launch this thing in 2 days, and whether you do it with me or do it online, whatever it is, get it up, get it running, get it out. You've got about 37 hours in a week that aren't related to you working or you're sleeping.
Wow.
Or you're commuting. There's an extra 37 hours that every human being can carve out in a week to get this done.
What I love, Alex, what I love more than anything else pretty much is that a lot of people talk about the stuff, they haven't actually done it themselves. So I'm going to get into actually some of that with you in 1 second when we get back, all right? Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
I want you back. Said I want you back, baby. Want you back. My bed is so lonely from you walked out that door. Can't stop thinking about you. Life ain't no good without you. You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free. You set me free. The finest years I ever knew. spent with you, I would give everything I own. I'd give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, yeah, just to have you back again, just to talk to you once again. And if there's someone you know that won't let you go and is taking it all for granted, you might lose them one day. Someone takes them away and they don't hear a word you say. And I would give everything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own just to have you back again, just to talk to you once again. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, man, and that one is Cork with a song called Everything I Own. Alex, thanks again for sticking around. Let's talk, and I tell you this, I love talking to people with passion. Let's talk about your own brand. One of the questions I think, and this is just me, no genius, no expertise here, but I always think that people should ask themselves a couple of questions before getting into business. I've done that with my own. Why this product? Why this time? Many people preach it, Alex, but not everybody live it. You are doing well at your job. I'm not talking to some punk kid who with no obligations and, you're a dad, you got real bills, you got real responsibilities. What made you take that leap of faith? We're both believers. What made you take that leap of faith to say, you know what, I got to leave this 9 to 5 at this time and go pursue my dream of being an entrepreneur?
Look, sometimes it's serendipity. Sometimes you get fired from your job.
Right.
And you can take that and you can be depressed about it, or you can look at it and say, maybe this is God, getting to the end of my disobedience, and you know what? He made it happen this way, because I wasn't going to leave on my own, at my own will, and my terms.
Right.
I don't know a lot of people, man. I mean, I give kudos to a lot of people that just up and leave. I mean, I don't know too many that just sort of, you see it in the movies sometimes, right? Like, take this job and shove it, I'm out of here. But that's not the case most of the time. Most of the time, something happened, man, and look, that's a move. That's a door opening. Other times, God makes it a little easier and presents an opportunity from a family member or a friend or whatever, and the stars align and you take it. But most of the time, Greg, what I do consult to the 9 to 5ers is I actually don't recommend getting fired or just up and leaving. Right. What I do recommend is a transition into entrepreneurship. And there's so many ways to do that, Greg. I mean, there's multi-level marketing, network marketing. You can do coaching, consulting on the side. Got weekend warriors out there. There's so many different businesses that you can start right where you're at. You can blog, you can podcast, you can launch a t-shirt line. I mean, so many things. I got people selling on Amazon that have 9 to 5 jobs, and you know what? When the boss ain't looking, they're checking their stats. I mean, I'm not saying do that because that's stealing, but it happens, man. And so that's what I usually recommend to new entrepreneurs. Is I believe that there's a certain group of us that are gonna get fired, and another group of us that are gonna just say, you know what, I've had it, I'm out of here. Right. which that happened. Both of those happened to me. Right. So I empathize with both of those situations. What I've never done yet, but I know a lot of people that do, is they sort of dabble in both worlds. The danger is well, what I would recommend to the ones that are going to do both is have a clear plan. See, I have a friend who does both and never plans on not doing both. In other words, totally satisfied with the 9 to 5,
right,
and totally satisfied with the side work. That's awesome,
right?
But she's decided that, so she does not live with any kind of anxiety of, I wonder if my boss is going to find out, and man, I wish I could do this full time. Right? She doesn't live in that level of uncertainty. She's very clear. She loves both. But I got friends that are launching the side business and hate their job, but got to stay with it, and haven't told themselves and made a commitment like, that's it. December 31st, 2018, I'm out of here.
Right.
And so all I say to the entrepreneur, weekend warrior, 9 to 5er is have a very clear plan of attack of leaving, right, because it will make your time right now very fruitful. You'll know it's coming. It'll motivate you, and you won't live in this sort of gray area like, oh, am I going to do this forever?
Right.
When's this ever going to be over? So just be very, very clear on, I'm going to give this 2 years, right? This is a 2-year plan here. I'm going to launch this thing. I'm going to get at it, man, work at it on the weekends. And in 2 years, bro, I'm out of here, man.
Right. The business plan of some sort. Now, the reason I really wanted to talk to you, most times when we're doing research, we talk to someone who knows someone who knows someone, or someone that's pitching something, be it a product or an endeavor that sounds great, but they really don't know about their start. So it's hard to trust. With you, like I said, I knew from when you took that leap of faith. Let's talk more in depth about your company, Launch in 2 Days, and the concept behind Launch in 2 Days. I know we touched on it a little bit earlier in terms of why, but give me a little bit more information about the company itself.
Well, yeah, man. So, Launch in 2 Days is if you heard my rant earlier, we're a weekend event here in Miami. I do have people that launch with me virtually, so you don't necessarily have to be in Miami. But on a Friday, people come in here to my office, and by Saturday at 5 p.m., logo, website, story, the brand story, business card,
wow,
even photography, because sometimes it's, you need headshots. So we have the studio upstairs. The social media design, like everything's done, man. There's no.
And this is one-stop shop. This is everything being done by you and your company. Wow.
Yeah. Because I hire the people all to be here that weekend, right? So everyone gets their own designer, developer. We got the photographer. We have brand strategist. So, I've got food here, so you don't even have to leave. You gotta leave like at night. It's not like you can spend the night on Friday.
Right.
But we're working towards that, Greg. Actually, we want. No, well, we want to start doing these at hotels.
Oh,
right? So
I gotcha.
So people take a weekend, and just disconnect, right? And they go rent the hotel, and then they come downstairs to the conference center, to the conference room area, and they launch, right? So, we're working towards that. We're planning that for the fall, our first one, but. Yeah, and everything's done. Now, the critical component here, though, is that you will have a massive failure to launch if we do not establish the brand strategy first. So, first things first, and I think it's this is my gifting, this is my talent, this is the best of me, is that we need to have a brand strategy session. You gotta give me the vision. You gotta lay it all out, and then I gotta sort of break it all up and put it back together into a plan that is a clear plan for the entrepreneur, and also though a clear plan for the consumer, because that's where a lot of disconnect happens. Like, you know what you do, you know what you want to do, but how do you express that to the consumer in their language as to how it solves their problem in the story that they're having in their own world?
Right.
And that, the hallmark of a great Christian man is someone who's like, is someone who's so selfless and yet so empathetic to other people's needs and wants and desires, right? The best husbands out there, the best wives out there, the best friends you have right now are the ones that just care so selflessly about themselves and so much about you. But that is so difficult to do.
Right.
And entrepreneurs, we suffer from the same thing. We are so selfish. Our egos and our pride is so high that we sometimes forget that the real hero of the story is the customer.
Wow. I like that.
So when you have this brand strategy and you're able to really piece this thing and really explain to the entrepreneur that I know you love what you do, but we need to solve some problems for some customers. Let's position this thing for them. Then there's massive clarity, bro. Do you want me to give you an example?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
An acupuncturist comes, and she is just distraught about what's going on in the Groupon world. I mean, you can get an acupuncturist Groupon anytime now. There is no loyalty whatsoever in this acupuncture massage world right now.
Right.
I mean, I just go to Groupon, I buy the next one, and bam, thank you so much, and then I'm buying the next one. And so this woman got just fed up with it, man. She thought the problem was her website.
Right.
She thought her problem was marketing.
Mm-hmm.
She thought, maybe if I do some Facebook ads, maybe if I get some search engine optimization, the people will find me. And so I said, okay, cool. Let's before any of that, though, right before we jump to any conclusions, we need to have a brand strategy session. So I asked her, I said, what do you love to do, man? Give me your number one client that you've ever helped, that it was like, wow, the best experience. You felt like Jesus. Mm-hmm. And she says, well, there was my friend whose mother was bedridden. She was confined to her bed, and she, the friend had gone through all types of treatments and all doctors and all this, and the mother wasn't walking, and so this woman comes to the house, this acupuncturist, which she never does. It's you always have to go to her place. So she gets in the car, goes and starts treating this elderly woman who's bedridden, and in a few weeks she has the woman walking again.
Wow.
And she tells me the story with this like she was like this angel, right? And there was she saved this woman, and I go, wow, that was a story, man. That was just awesome. And I said, I wonder if there's other bedridden people in this world. I wonder if, in fact, you're not an acupuncturist, but instead you are someone that helps bedridden people walk again.
Wow.
See, branding, when you couple the thing that you love to do, when God has given you a perfect client, a scenario in which you felt like, wow, I can't believe I got paid to do that. Which, by the way, she got paid more than she ever got paid before. Wow. She spent the less time, and she didn't have to market for it. The girl came to her, so it was like magnetically attracted to her.
Right.
So it's like there was no fumbling around on Facebook. She didn't have to send 30 emails, right? It wasn't, spend $1 million on a site. Like, she just, it came to her, right? It's like magnetically attracted. And that's the thing, that when we're doing what we're born to do, see, when we're doing God's work on this planet, then God says, now you're ready, and he starts bringing the clients to you.
Right.
Because you've made yourself blessable, because you're being obedient to why you exist on this planet.
Right.
When you get to the point of discovering what you're born to do, now you know your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility in business. And it fires you up. It gets you up at 4:30 in the morning. It keeps you up at night, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how you can serve more people.
Wow.
This is what the entrepreneurial world is missing. This is why people are jumping from business to idea to fad. Because they haven't figured out
what it is. Yeah.
That God has them for a very specific reason. And look, you don't gotta be Christian to come over to me and help me figure out what to do with you, because God's blessed me with that ability too. And God shows grace to every single body. That's why you see non-Christians just rocking it in this world, because that's God's grace.
Right.
And regardless.
Right.
He loves regardless of our love.
Gotcha.
We need to be in our zone. We need to be in the born to do identity. And this woman, we were able to help her figure that out and then launch a brand that was specifically for that. See, if she would have gone to her friend or her cousin or her whatever to do a logo on a website, she would still be spinning the hamster wheel, probably getting a 9-to-5 somewhere, having to figure out what to do, change scenarios. But now she's highly sought after. She's memorable. She's shareable. She's highly paid.
Right.
Why? She's in her zone, man.
Right.
So that's the most critical part here of the launch of 2 days, man. It's just this brand, this born to do brand strategy session. Get figured out, man. Get so niche and so specific that you're carving your own space in the industry.
I love it.
No one can touch you.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're hearing it here on Homegrown with G. Cole. And like I said, I love the passion. I love the fact that there are many people out there, especially the young people. I mean, everybody, we appeal and we reach out to everybody. But as I talk and I go out and I do these seminars and I talk to even the kids and so forth, I like the fact that they have this zeal for entrepreneurship and the passion that you bring. Because a lot of times, with the youth, they're looking at those who've done it before. They're looking, is there any passion, or these people really look like, man, I just want out. So I love the energy that you bring. But we're going to go over some more stuff. Don't go anywhere. Keep it moving. Keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
When everyone forsake you, remember Jah will take you. Them rather break you down before them build you up. Them we dash ready water before them fill your cup, yeah. Break you down before them build you up. Them we see the rain a fall and talk about the dirty tough boy. Break you down before them build you up. Them got millions in the bank, and I tell you say them brother back. Break you down, yeah. Them we break you down. Them we act like them a help and give you vinegar for water. Make you meet your end and turn round comfort all your mother. Them seem to be sadistic with a mental disorder. The more you try to rise, them lift the barriers, them taller. I keep the faith, I put my trust in the Father. Pagan can never see me falter, cause I keep on rising, steady criticizing. I give my heart, my soul to the King of Kings.
Then we break you down before them build you up. Then we dash ready water before them fill your cup, yeah. Break you down before them build you up. Then we see the rain fall and talk about the dirty tough boy. Break you down before them build you up. Them got millions in the bank, and I tell you, say them rubber. Break you down, yeah. Then we break you down. Let me tell you this. Yeah, him and me source, me provider. Him and me strength, him and me hope, them a China. Without him, me couldn't cope, them a China. He tell me right, so me blessing me go find. Oh, so divine, me light up to shine. Victory is mine. Gotta see you cry and stop trying. See you cry and stop trying. That not gonna make you cry. He'll give you the strength to try. Jah not gonna make you cry. That's no lie. Them rather break you down before them build you up. Them we dash ready water before them fill your cup, yeah. Break you down before them build you up. Them we see the rain fall and talk about the dirty tough boy. Break you down before them build you up. Them got millions in the bank, and I tell you, say them rubber back. Break you down, yeah.
Yes. And that one is Phil Watkins with a song called Break You Down. Phil has an album coming out on May 16th called The Insurrection. Make sure you go ahead and check that out. Alex, as we're talking here, there are certain things that always stand out and stick out to me in any conversation that I have. As you bring people into the fold, try to, teach people, educate people on how to launch these businesses. You do almost, it's a one-stop shop. But what I did hear you say pretty much was, you got the experts in to do what they do while you do what you do. So even though you're doing launch in 2 days, you're not trying to R. Kelly the thing and be the photographer, the singer, the pianist, the keyboard, to play the drums and the whole nine. I remember my wife and I were out to dinner once and we met this old couple. And they sat down with us and just decided to, impart their knowledge and their wisdom on us. And one thing they made sure they said to us was, what makes a relationship work? And we thought it was the standard, yes, dear, and all that stuff. And they were like, no, what it is let each person do what they're good at doing. And though that's not what we were focusing on, I did hear that in what you're saying in terms of everybody's there. It's a one-stop shop. But you said you brought in the photographer. You brought in whomever it needed to do what they do. And that's something that I do think is important for these people to hear.
Well, it's important for a couple of reasons. I think it's important for us to understand that that goes along perfectly with, you got to do what you're born to do, right? Mm-hmm. You got to understand and know what you particularly were shaped to do in this marketplace.
Right. Now,
but shifting towards what you're now meaning with this is, so I'm not good at managing employees. I don't like employees. I don't like it. I don't like the thought that I have to pay. I gotta pay someone to go to the bathroom. Like they're taking a dump, but the clock is still rolling, right? And to me, I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with that. So I don't run my business with employees, right? I run my business with virtual assistants. Mm-hmm. And I run my business, launch in 2 days actually fits my business because I can hire a whole bunch of people for a weekend, pay them for a very specific job, and then they're out. Now, what am I saying here? That I know myself. I know who I am. I know what I'm really, really good at, and I know what I'm not good at. So I don't build my business around my weaknesses. I build my business around my strengths. They say Tiger Woods, he'll spend more time practicing his strengths than his weaknesses. Like, why? You focus on your strengths, man, and you get stronger at your strengths, not your weaknesses. True. Right? You let your strengths go further. So, look, the second thing I'll say to this is that as entrepreneurs, there's a misconception that you have to be the cook and the accountant and the customer service and the front desk and you got to be all of these roles and it's true that you must be it first because it is true that you must do every job. It's true.
Right.
But they don't do what's next of true entrepreneurship. See, true entrepreneurship is three things. Learn it, do it, delegate it. That's true entrepreneurship at its finest.
Wow.
It means that you know you need a photographer. You know that the photographer's got to look good. Now, you know that they've got to pose in these certain ways. You know that the lighting's got to be this way. And you might click a couple of things just to kind of do it once or twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to put someone else who that's what they were born to do, and they're gifting their talent, because the entrepreneur's job is not to do photography. See, the entrepreneur's job is to realize that there's more people that need the solution that they provide.
Right.
True entrepreneurship is sales and marketing, my brother.
Right.
True entrepreneurship is sales and marketing. Why? Because sales and marketing is identifying a problem and guiding people towards the solution. This is entrepreneurship. The minute that you get into a business that depends on you and your talent, you've given yourself a job. Congratulations, you're back at a 9-to-5.
Right. True.
But you're justified because you're your own boss, so you don't have to put up with the crap of the boss. You know what? I wouldn't trust yourself. Because you're not that great of a boss to yourself.
Right.
You're not that disciplined enough. You're not as hard on yourself as you should be.
Mm-hmm.
You cut corners, you slack off, you wake up late, and you put up with it, and you deal with it. Your boss isn't going to do that. So you might as well just go back to get a job.
Right.
You're better off there. Because the world of entrepreneurship is a difficult task.
Yeah.
It's only for the disciplined. So you have to set up systems and processes in the place so that you don't get sucked into the machine. See, I think the best entrepreneurs out there are the ones who have no freaking clue how to do the thing that they're selling.
Right. They got to get the experts in.
That's it. He just knows someone who can do that.
Right.
And he knows how to pick them.
No, you're absolutely right.
He has no clue about accounting, but he knows someone who does. He has no clue about human resources, but man, he knows someone who does.
Right.
He has no clue about how to make a cookie, but man, he's got this mad scientist friend who just, he can bake them.
Right. Wow.
And that's entrepreneurship, man. And, sometimes the other entrepreneurs, the ones who are sort of entrepreneurs, who are still stuck in their own business, we look at those guys and we call them lazy. Mm-hmm. So look at him. All he does is sit there and boss people around. He's never even picked up, a hammer.
Right.
We look at them with this disdain, like they're doing something wrong. And you know what? He's looking back at us saying, poor guys, man. They're like stuck. They're like slaves in their business. They don't really get it. They don't understand that they're not supposed to be the ones to work. They're supposed to be the ones giving people a job.
Right. Wow. Wow, that is so true. And the funny thing about it is, as you say these things, they come up. I think now, when I say these things come up so much in conversation that I have with young folks trying to get, at least just ideas, just bouncing ideas. Now, here's the other thing, and a lot of times there are certain questions people don't want to ask, and it's almost like bringing up the prenup before the wedding. But without losing your resources in the process, how does one establish or find out whether or not entrepreneurship really is for them? A lot of people think it is for them, but it's not for everybody.
Look, here we could do one. I'll do you one right good, and you can post this on your page and in the notes. They need to go to launchin2days.com /passion. launchin2days.com /passion. That's going to tell you if you're in it for this. That's going to tell you it's an ebook that I created for this same purpose.
Right.
Is this for you? What? And because if you can't find your passion, then in entrepreneurship, then you need to find your passion serving someone else. See, it's not that bad being in the 9-to-5 world. We on the entrepreneurship side act like we look down on that. Hello, we need 9-to-5ers to do the work that we come up with.
Yep.
Yep. I'm not. We're all on the same level here. Okay, we all stand at the foot of the cross. There is no. Because I own a business doesn't mean I'm better. I've got 9-to-5er friends that make 3 times as much money as I do.
Right.
I mean, sales is a big job. I mean, you remember.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these guys crushing it, making big money, working for someone. But you know what? I got a story for you.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bus driver who his route was Manhattan to Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he served the rat race. People coming from Queens, going to Manhattan, working, and then get on the bus, and you go back home at the end of the day, back to Queens. So he had this route. This was his route. 1 stop in Manhattan, 1 stop in Queens. Mm-hmm. Okay? He, at the end of every route, at the end of every day in Queens, he left the door closed, and he would get up, and he would address his passengers.
Mm-hmm.
And he would say, "We have arrived. Many of you will go home now to your families. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to leave all of your problems for the day right here on this bus.
Wow.
And I'm gonna take those problems and I'm gonna go leave them at the bus terminal overnight. And I'm gonna get rid of them."
Wow.
Here's a man who worked a 9-to-5 job, pension for his whole entire life, but he understood what he was born to do.
Right.
He understood that he was not just a bus driver. He was a therapist almost, a psychiatrist almost, a family counselor.
Wow.
Here is a man who focused on one thing and one thing only, making sure you didn't take your problems of the day home into the dinner table and mess with the fabric of our society.
Wow.
He understood his role in the 9-to-5 world.
Wow.
And see, it's no different than the entrepreneurial world.
Right.
Regardless, you have to figure out what you were born to do. You've got to figure out the bigger meaning and the bigger purpose behind your existence. Because whether you're in a 9-to-5 job or you've got your own business, God's got a plan for you, and He needs you to pick up your boots and start walking in that light.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. And I definitely get it. I keep hammering away at the concept of like what you're saying, get up and do it. I like it. Like Nike, just do it. Because I know folks who've been trying to launch a business for years. Tons of meetings, business plans, product discussions, no product, no business. And that to me is why when I saw and I was researching the whole concept of launch in 2 days, I thought it was so effective. We're going to get in some more stuff in a second. Don't go anywhere. Keep it moving. Keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
When the sun goes down and the moon gets bright and everybody in for the night, me need some company to make the mood feel right. Someone to squeeze up tight, yeah. Me need a nice empress who look good in her dress, and once yours is mine, me give you all access. Come make we take a ride, come make we drive out west. Are you alone? There's no contest, but until then, I'm still searching for true love. Someone who sent from above, I want her to be my girl, and together we rule the world, Come make we take a break from the up and down. Come make we take a short to Spanish town. Me a the king, so I you fi wear the second crown. Me a go pick your way up and we not come down, Because of you me like, and me a sit down and I pray for make you be wife. So do me right and make sure you be right. And me a tell you how me feel on a Tuesday night. I'm still searching for true love. Someone who sent from above. I want her to be my girl. And together we rule the world. So tell me, are you out there now? Me we give you good loving and me not play around. Tell me, are you out there now? Me we give you good loving and me not play around. Tell me, are you out there now? Me we give you good loving and me not play around. Tell me, are you out there now, girl? Tell me. So me sing again. I'm still searching for true love. Someone who sent from above. I want her to be my girl.
Yes, and that one is King Charles with a song called Still Searching. That's our wicked single. We're going to be having him in the studio real soon. Alex, I'm just so blown away with the information that you're dropping on us right now. Now time is of the essence. We're almost at the top of the hour. So I'm going to ask you, for those people who are sitting on great ideas, but are leery about making that move or venture, what words of advice can you give them?
Go to my website. Let's schedule a discovery call.
I like it.
I love my team. I love my team figure out if this is right for you. No, look, in all seriousness, that's what it takes. Because on our own, left to our own motivations and our own self, we are wretched souls that are walking so far from our calling that we need a guide to bring us back. And I'm not pretending to be the guide, but I'm pretending, or I'm knowing that I've been called as a guide. Mm-hmm. And whether it's me or your pastor or another person who's a brand strategist, go and get some consultation. Right. I would sit here and say, draw close to Jesus and it'll come to light, but that's not the case. I mean, mm-hmm. I'm not saying not to, but how many even good Christians out there that know that they're not in their zone, but that's not, that's not doing it.
Right.
So you need a good kick in the butt, man. My dad was asking me the other day, I want to help your mom, lose some weight and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, look, she's never going to do it on her own, man. Like,
right.
She needs help. Like, gotta come along, like, gotta hire a professional. You gotta jump on a program. You gotta pony up the money. You gotta do something. But stop trying to do it on your own, because this is where you're at right now, because you've been trying to do it on your own this whole time.
Reach out to the expert.
It's not that expensive. See, listen, if you were to hire me privately to do your branding, you're looking at $10,000 plus. But one of the other things that I was against in this world was saying no to my friends and family because they don't have $10,000, and nor do I suggest investing $10,000 at the beginning in your brand.
Right.
So, launch in 2 days, I formulated the entire thing to be between $1,500 to $2,500. I came up with that number because that's how much money people have on a credit card.
I got you.
Available. That's how much money usually someone's put aside to launch their dream business. And I do not make a killing on that money. There's not enough money in there for me to only sustain myself on that.
Right.
But I've got bigger plans. See, I'm franchising, I'm licensing launch in 2 days. So my business model is to now teach other people like me how they can help other entrepreneurs in their cities, in their towns, or wherever, launch businesses in 2 days. And I'm going to teach the entire model. So the pricing was not set to make me rich. The pricing was set to help anybody launch their business.
Gotcha.
It's an investment still. To some people, $2,000 is like, another person's $2 million. Like, it's a lot of money to a lot of people, and I get it. But, Greg, you and I both know that money isn't what's holding people back from going on a cruise.
That's true.
It's something else is holding them back, man. There's a fear. There's some kind of something else. Money is never the issue.
Yeah.
And as long as you continue listening to the enemy in your head, he will keep on telling you that you don't have what it takes, and that you don't have enough money, and that there's no one's going to buy your product. And just keep on listening to the stories that he tells you, and you won't launch anything. But I know I serve a God that dispels all of those lies and that rebukes all of that. And I want to come alongside anybody and help them step into the thing that God has created them to do.
Wow. I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and put the information also for launch in 2 days in the show notes so people can visit that. I know time's of the essence, but I know that's not your only passion, and I couldn't let you leave without having you talk to us about Jose's Hands.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Well, look, Jose was my brother. I don't even know if to say is or was, is my brother. In 2008, he tragically passed away. He was an orthopedic surgeon in the United States Army. And a couple months before his passing, he had shared with me his passion. I had literally asked him, Jose, what, I call him Jamil by his middle name. Jamil, what is your purpose in this world? I literally asked my brother that. The same question I'm going to ask entrepreneurs when we talk, but I asked my brother this question: what's your purpose? And he said to me, he said, I'm supposed to take a month out of every year and go to the Amazon and do a medical mission.
Wow.
This is what so he's telling. We're in a car. We're in his car on the way from Jacksonville to from Gainesville to North Carolina to show me his new home that he had just bought on a golf course. We're in his Porsche Cayenne, right? He's a guy like, big brother, like, just on top of life, on top of the world. And he shares with me this just big purpose. And I'm here like, oh my God, like, am I ever going to be better than my brother? You know, that little brother, big brother thing.
Yep.
Right? So I'm like, is this ever going to be like, here I was, like thinking I'm growing, and like, I'm hearing this, I'm like, oh my God. And so, and then 2 months later, we get the phone call that he had passed away, and 33 years old, man.
Wow.
And man, that was traumatizing.
Man, sorry to hear.
And for an entire year, you're thinking like, what's this all for? Like, what, wow, why this? Why him? You got alcoholic degenerates who are like 80 years old.
Yep.
Right? Still pumping away here.
Yep.
And like, you got my bro here trying to save the world and 33 gone. Hey, listen, luckily for me, I am a man of faith, and I was a man of faith at the time, and I understood that God clearly had a calling for him. And but somewhere along that analysis that we go through when tragedy happens in our lives, we start to think. We eventually move beyond the why this, why me, why us, and we move into why God.
Right.
And I remembered the message that he said that his purpose was to do medical mission work.
Wow.
And I didn't find it coincidental that 2 months before his passing, he shares it with me. So I took it as my purpose. And what we do at Jose's Hands is that we give scholarships to help students to go on their first medical mission so that they can represent my brother out there, that they can be Jose's Hands out in the world. And you want to know what's crazy, Gregory? Is that when a few years into this,
right,
we had sent some students out, etc. And my mother tells me that my brother had done a medical mission his first year of medical school. And then I connect the dot and I say, oh my God, it was that experience that then drove my brother through the rest of medical school and to get his master's in public health. Wow. And then to tell me that he wanted to be a medical missionary. Therefore, going on a medical mission as a first-year medical school student is such an impressionable experience that you end up finding your calling on a medical mission. Therefore, Jose's Hands is simply another way in which I am doing my calling, which is helping health students figure out what they were really born to do.
Wow.
You see, when you discover what you were born to do in this world, everything starts to revolve around that, and everything becomes that, even your nonprofit.
Wow. Wow.
You just got to find your born to do identity. And look, we're all struggling in this world. You know why we struggle, man? We struggle because there's this thing called division. Division. Let's break the word out. Vision. That means you got a split vision. What happens when you have a split vision? Try having a split vision when you're driving. Try having a split vision when you're trying to do anything.
Right.
Division is not a good thing.
Wow.
And that's what the enemy seeks to do here, is to divide. He doesn't want your oneness. He wants 2, 3, 4 entrepreneurs that are doing 2 or 3 or 4 things that haven't figured out how all of them really point into one thing, are just spreading themselves too thin.
Wow.
But when you can come to the point of realizing what you were born to do, then everything makes sense. Then church, family, fitness, business, friends, everything starts to be about one thing and one thing only. So when I go to the church, or when I go to family reunions, or when I'm sitting with my friends at the table, I'm asking one question and one question only. What are you doing right now? What are you into? What are you up to?
Wow.
And how does that deal with anything which you were born to do?
Love it.
See, I know what I'm born to do, man. I know what my one thing is.
Mm-hmm.
I know what my purpose is. And when the church calls me and asks me, hey, we want you to lead a Bible study, and they go, what do you want to teach about, Alex? I'm not pulling anything out of my butt.
Right.
I got one thing and one thing only. I'm going to help people figure out what they were born to do.
Wow.
And that's it.
Answer your calling. And I know medical missions are expensive. So for those people who want to get in touch with Jose's Hands, whether they want to participate or donate or so forth, how can they do that?
They could go to joseshands.org. You can learn about us, our story there. You go to joseshands.org/donate. You can donate to the ministry. You go to joseshands.org/volunteer. You can volunteer for the ministry and help us. Help us with all the things that are involved in running a nonprofit. Right? It's a business. At the end of the day, we gotta run marketing, operations, human resources. We gotta run a whole gamut of things. So
right.
That could be a whole nother episode. Is starting and running a nonprofit, man. That's a whole nother whirlwind of an experience.
Trust me, I understand, and I appreciate it. On behalf of all the Homegrown listeners and myself, I want to definitely thank you for sharing your knowledge. I know many people are benefiting from this information that you shared. If they want to contact you to get help launching a business, how do they reach you?
They can go to launchin2days.com, the number 2, launchin2days.com. Remember, if you want to find out what you're passionate about, go to launchin2days.com/passion. If you just want to get to know me and my story and who I am, go to alexmiranda22.com and you can read up all about me, man.
And I know you got a couple of books on Amazon too, right?
I do, and they're right there on my alexmiranda22.com. One of them is called Discovering Your Calling as an Entrepreneur. So nice. If this message resonated with you at all, and especially if you're a Christian and you're a believer, you want to pick this book up. It's got Bible verses. It's all about how God sees calling in your life. And even if you're not a Christian, maybe this is the book that will transform your life and let you see, the God that I know that's done miraculous works in my life and taken me out of the muck and mire that I lived in, and the division that I lived in, and given me meaning and purpose in this world.
Nice. Thanks again, brother. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Alex Miranda. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
I could swim across the ocean, and it wouldn't be good enough. Show all my emotions, and you're still treating me rough. Give all my devotion, and you show me no love. I could give you my whole life, and it won't be good enough. I'd climb a mountain, run 1,000 miles for you. I'm a strong woman, but I swallow my pride for you. I can't afford to lose myself over you, 'cause if I gave you my whole life, no
And that one is Etana with a song called Good Enough from her brand new album, Reggae Forever. And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole, available now on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all your podcast platforms. Also, check out the website Homegrown with G. Cole for all things homegrown. Remember, be safe, be kind, and be good to each other. My name is G. Cole, and this is Homegrown.
Nakikinig ka sa música Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
Remember, all the music played here on the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all your digital retailers. Please support the artists.